primary.
The Citadel
No.
Spectres are agents from the
Nihilus.
Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers, resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Solarians joined the Council. For
These
many
names,
years they
Solarians,
operated in
Quarians.
secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become
Krogan.
publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation.
They're throwing random names at me. Turians. Okay, we know what they are. We've seen them. All right. Solarians, Quarians, Krogan.
The Terminus systems are located on the far side of the Attican Traverse, beyond the space administered by the Citadel Council or claimed by the Human Systems Alliance.
I know what humans
It is
are.
populated by a loose affiliation
Hooray.
of minor species, united only in their refusal to acknowledge the political authority of the Council
Minor
or adhere to the
species.
Citadel Conventions.
Not
Their
important.
independence comes at a price. The Terminus is fraught with conflict.
Of course.
War among the various species is common, as governments and dictators constantly rise and fall. The region is a haven for illegal activities, particularly piracy and the slave trade. At least once a year, a fleet from the Terminus invades the nearby Attican Traverse. These attacks are typically small raids against poorly defended colonies. The Council rarely retaliates, as sending patrols into the Terminus systems could unify the disparate species against their common foe, triggering a long and costly war.
Yep. Right.
Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are 3 branches of biotics. Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects.
They're psychic.
Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to element 0. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system.
What? I'm guessing like, the joke is right. You know, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stranger. What is the point of this? What? Why? Right.
Element 0 can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect.
What?
In space, low mass fields allow FTL travel and inexpensive surface-to-orbit transit. High mass fields create artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The military makes extensive use of mobility-enhancing technologies, with Mass Effect utilizing fighting vehicles standard frontline issue in most military forces. Mass Effect fields are also essential in the creation of kinetic barriers or shields to protect against enemy fire.
So what direction are you putting it through? Where are you putting it through? How are you connecting it to the electrical stuff? Physics! Science! Let's relax.
Combat hard suits use a dual-layer system to protect the wearer. The inner layer consists of fabric armor with kinetic padding. Areas that don't need to be flexible, such as the chest or shins, are reinforced with sheets of lightweight, ablative ceramic. The outer layer consists of automatically generated kinetic barriers. Objects traveling above a certain speed will trigger the barrier's reflex system and be deflected, provided there is enough energy left in the shield's power cell. Armored hard suits are sealable to protect the wearer from extremes of temperature and atmosphere. Standard equipment includes an onboard mini-frame and a communications, navigation, and sensing suite. The mini-frame is designed to accept and display data from a weapon's smart targeting system to make it easier to locate and eliminate enemies.
Oh, so you've got like the heads-up display is connected to the thing, even if you're not wearing your helmet. Because I won't be wearing the helmet.
Kinetic barriers, more commonly called shields, provide protection against most mass accelerator weapons. Whether on a starship or a soldier's suit of armor, the basic principle remains the same.
It's a force field.
Kinetic barriers are repulsive mass effect fields, projected from tiny emitters. These shields safely deflect small objects traveling at rapid velocities. This affords protection from bullets and other dangerous projectiles, but still allows the user to sit down without knocking away their chair. The shielding afforded by kinetic barriers does not protect against extremes of temperature, toxins, or radiation.
So they're purely kinetic. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so we've gone through all the codices now. If you don't want me to do them, then comment, tell me. Or do you not mind me listening to them all? Ah, you.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
Supplies?
What have you got? Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Do you have a genie lamp?
Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Pay you?
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap.
Then why are you the Alliance
the
Requisitions
alone
Officer?
Set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Licenses?
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Smuggling, I guess.
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products.
That makes no sense.
I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
Yeah, okay, so
let's see what you've got.
I've got to unlock his ability to own different things, and wow! It's a lot of money, and I don't have a lot of cash. Right, that's very expensive. That's quite nice, actually. It's not really... doesn't look to be worth 8,000. Oh, we got another codex.
Biotics is the... Omni tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The fabrication module can rapidly assemble small, three-dimensional objects from common, reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys. This allows for field repairs and modifications to most standard items, as well as the reuse of salvaged equipment. Omni tools are standard issue for soldiers and first-in colonists.
There's a... wait, what?
Biotics is the ability... Omni tools are handheld...
Oh, right, you can do that. Oh. And there's nothing in secondary. Okay. And we've looked at everything down here, so we'll go back up the elevator. Back in the lift. Up. There was a... how do I... Right. Activate the lift. I'm coming up, so you better get the party started. Let's go and bother Joker. Thank you, loading screen. And go up. Onwards. Let's try and bother more people and see if we can get experience just by talking to people. No, can't talk to you. Right, so we don't want to go that way because that's what Joker is. Oop, oop. More codex thing. Alright, Systems Alliance, military jargon. Ashore. When a ship's crew leaves the vessel, they are ashore. They're normally used regarding planets, it can refer to boarding a space station. Away. When a ship releases the equipment tethering it to a space station or surface dock, it is away. Aye aye. The proper way to acknowledge an order. If told to attack, the correct response is aye aye sir. If asked, are you proud to be a Marine? The correct answer is yes sir. Even if you're not ASAP or ASAP. If you are ASAP, an acronym of soon as possible. Belay. Stop, cease, belay that order. Da, 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 da. Bridge, the navigational centre of a spacecraft where the steering is done. Captain's mast. Non-judicial disciplinary proceedings by unit commanders. CIC, Combat Information Centre. The command centre of a spacecraft. The CIC is filled with sensor displays to make sense out of the chaos of combat. Damage Control, DC. The containment and repair of damage to a spacecraft. ECM, electronic countermeasures used to avoid enemy sensors from passive emissions masking to active jamming. EVA, extra vehicular activity, time spent in a pressure suit, outside of a vehicle, spacecraft or station. Flank, which is the side of a military formation. Since the soldiers are facing elsewhere, an enemy that can attack on the flank can often turn it or roll it up. FNG, freaking new guys, a derisive term for inexperienced personnel. Groundside, the surface of a planet. Helmsman, the crewman who pilots a spacecraft. Radar, light amplified detection and ranging. Why not just call it radar? An active sensor that bounces lasers off an object to determine its bearing and distance. Radar has sufficient resolution that the data can be reconstructed into an image. Okay, that's why. No, actually, still... well, whatever. Shore party. Spacecraft crew sent ashore on official business, including two of the most important people and possibly a red shirt. Silent running. An old submariner's term used aboard the Normandy to note when stealth systems are active. SITREP. Abbreviation of situation report, an evaluation of the current military situation. Spacer. Hello! Someone who spent most of their life in space. EXO. Executive Officer. The second in command of an Alliance warship. The EXO is responsible for administrative and personnel matters. We've already looked at that, yeah. Anything in primary? Nope.